This is Eagle Eye after 10. I started the movie. As of right now, I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it being like this really good movie or something. So why am I watching it? Because they were saying, okay, movies that kind of aged kind of well. What was coming up was like just because of the time and the space that we're living in, like iRobot and Eagle Eye was just up there. As far as like some movies that just kind of age well and different things like that. So what am I trying to say? Um, iRobot came out in 2004. Eagle Eye came out in 2008. I saw Shia LaBeouf on it, so I was like, it might be a little decent, whatever. So Shia LaBeouf isn't in the movie. So the name of the movie is Eagle Eye. There was as he was on the train. I'm not going to have like chronological order, but as he was on the train, there was a Big Brother is watching reference. It literally said like Big Brother is watching, and the only way that you cannot like get out of it, even this and the third, you got to take the battery out the phone or something like that. So, Eagle Eye. The first thing that I saw that I thought was like cool, that I was like, what you call it, but it didn't make me prompt me to be like, oh yeah, let me, you know how to do it, like with my movies when I'm watching a movie and I like a certain part, you know how I edit it up, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't make me particularly just like, oh yeah, I gotta go grab that, get that, whatever. So, the movie starts off in this like Arab type of thing, and so starts off with this like Arab type of setting or whatever. The people got the stuff wrapped around their head and da da da, boo boo boo. So what ends up happening? Um, it's like Valhalla to Thor. No, Thor to Valhalla. Thor to Valhalla. I like those. Like it was like this military type of thing, and they're keeping an eye out on this one thing. There's like it's a caravan. It's like three cars, and they're keeping an eye out, and they're monitoring it. So they was like, this is Thor to Valhalla. We have a possible target. This and that, boom, boom, boom. So Thor to Valhalla, Thor to Valhalla. All right, Valhalla. This is no, Thor to Valhalla and Valhalla. No, Thor. This is Valhalla. So it's one of them type of things. Like I don't know what Valhalla means. I don't know. It might be a place. I know, like, what's the game? Assassin's Creed, I think, has a Valhalla. I think Call of Duty might have a Valhalla. And I'm not sure if does it mean something or is it a person, place, or thing? I mean, of course it's of course it's a thing, but I don't know if it's a person, place. Actually, yeah, I don't know if it's a person, place. I don't know if Valhalla refers to a person, a place, or a thing. When I said thing, I just wasn't sure. I was like, well, yeah, yeah, never mind, yeah. A thing is like an object. Okay. So there's that. The only thing I thought about was just like, okay, like let's say you are in the military or wherever you're at, you would want to have a cool name. You know what I'm saying? So when they're like, this is Thor to Valhalla, like having a name like Thor in the military sense is like tough. If Valhalla, if that's like the little station or whatever, Valhalla is still like tough to be referenced as. Thor, Valhalla, and then something else got referenced as Loki or whatever. They're like sending, Loki. We're sending Loki and this and that, boom, boom, boom. So you would want like a cool like nickname or whatever, like if it's military. So there was that, and then so let's see after, so that's how it starts. They're like, all right, this is Thor to Valhalla. We have a possible target on caravan, and it's some guy, and so from there, what happens from there? Um, they wasn't sure. They wasn't sure if it was the guy. So they're doing this whole military operation. They're spying on the guy, and it's like, all right, we think it's him. And so he pulls into like this little. Um, Nobody asked. I do not care. Leave me alone. I'm serious talking about my movie. So the one guy, they're following the caravan of cars, and it goes into like this little Indian, like little. It's like a really small little. There may be like just it's a like, mind you, it's like you don't want to say like a big city, but it's just like this. It might be like, if I had to give you a number, let's say it's like 20 buildings, right? That's the town. It's like this small little town, right? So they follow the caravan of cars, and then it pulls into like this little small town, like again like 20 houses or whatever, right? There's not a lot of people and not a lot of houses or anything like that. So they come there, And then what happens from there? So they're over there, but that's the one that they're following. They're following the cars. The cars goes in there. So they send out this little airplane thing. The guy throws the little airplane thing, and it's like following the cars. And so at this point, it's a military operation. And they was like, okay, we have like a 31% match. But then the computer says like, okay, with 31% match, abort mission. Like, do not keep going. Do not let it go. Then when the group of cars pulls into like that small little town, then like the little airplane thing is still following them. And it's like, all right, it went from 30 and then it had like a 37% match and then it went to a 51% match. And then 51% match is still like, that's too high of a 51%, like, like chances wise, like if it is or is not the person that you're looking for. And so it was like, all right, that's still too high to whatever, right? So it still said abort mission. So from there, but that's all they was going to be able to get from it. The next thing was like 51%, and it was like, do you want to take this chance? And it was like, the guy that they were looking for, he only comes out every few years. And so they was like, if it's him, you know what I'm saying, you take this out, and it's like, whatever. But if it's not him, it's whatchamacallit. So it was that. It was like one of them type of things, right? One of them type of situations. So then from there, they looking at the guy. They have a 51% chance if it's him or not. The thing says abort mission, but they're like, all right, he might be at a funeral. They was like, is that a weapon casket? Like, what's going on with that? They're like, I don't know. It might be a funeral. Islam, 5 pillars of this. It might be a whole thing. Like, they're like, it might be at a funeral. So they was like, all right, we got a 51% chance, and the guy that we think that it might be is at a funeral. So then he calls. Then he gets a call from the president. He says, "All right, Mr. President, it's 51% chance. It may or may not be it's 51% chance is the person that we're looking for." And so he's like, and the person is probably at a funeral, and he's like, "That's what we have right now." And so he tells the president that, and the president was like, "What do you want to do?" And he tells him like, "I don't think what I'm saying, it's at third." And then the president's like, "Well, it's if we don't, and then like something happens, and that's because the guy was like, we don't want more collateral damage. Like if we do something, it like there's a chaos and disorder, yin yang is like we don't want more collateral damage, like type of thing." The president's like, well, I'm gotta want to be answers to our people, and if you don't take this out, and it ends up being more of our people get put in jeopardy, then that's the thing that I gotta watch them call. So he was like, you have to go ahead and get this done. So basically, you know what I'm saying, they get the green light to go ahead and take out the guy. And then, they do their whole little thing. They put up another little plane and missiles and impact in 10 seconds. And then it's like, they didn't do it. It's nitpicky. It didn't seem epic, but it's like, how do I say? There's another way to like either like do this scene or something like that. Cause they did like an aerial view of this scene. So, mind you, the people got out the car, and so it's like a group of people. It's this small town, like these Arab Indians, and it's a small town that's out there, boom, boom, and it looks like they may be having a funeral. So, basically, the missiles is coming in. They take the missile. Like, how do I explain this? Like, when you seeing that, right? Like, oh snap! Like, it should give you the feeling, or just like, yikes, on some like they just took out these people. So basically, that's what ends up happening, right? The missile hits, the missile lands, and then it says, but it gives you a view from like this binoculars, and it says eagle eye. So it does that, and it's like that would be a thing. Like, oh snap, they're taking people out. Like they're taking people out like this, and so how do I say like? But they did like this far away from the binocular, because like there was that plane thing that was following the caravan. It shows you like the vantage point from like that eagle eye, like it shows you the vantage point from like that, and the missile coming in contact. But it's uh, it didn't evoke like oh this is raw, they just took out somebody, they just you know what I'm saying, with a whole like it didn't give that, because it was like so far away, and it wasn't like epic. And timing wise, like if it was like could have been like computer generated. It's like 2008, so I didn't care for that. I didn't really like that. I didn't care for that. I didn't really like that. It didn't give me this like I'm saying, it should give you the sense of like, oh, they just took this. So like there should just been a different vantage point of them trying to whatever, like if it shows you like more instead of like aerial view, if it was like in the fire, in the crash or whatever. So like it's one of those like if you had to like the camera on the person and then it's like shoo, like dead, like you would have seen the jank coming from the sky and then somebody was like and like low key somebody like looks up and then it's like I'm a director. This is cinema, absolute cinema. So like I said, the vantage point from far away is not about to give this whatchamacallit. But like it was all these people and this is the missiles were aimed at these group of people. So if like one of them had kind of sort of just like right before impact, like looked up and noticed like you can see it in their eye like they and then it's like shoo and then so like because it's coming too fast and it's at third and then you get a shot. So like when you get one shot, you get it from like somebody like you got somebody's face and they like look up and they can kind of see it coming. And then like from the other side, you get like you got another vantage point where you see that, and then it's like so you get the explosion from the inside type of thing. That would have been a way better like oh they taking niggas out, they taking niggas out. So that happens. That's the beginning of the movie. So that happens, and then it says Eagle Eye. From there, I think from there it goes to Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf and like two other guys. If you watch Power, Ghost Lawyer. So season 1, Ghost's first lawyer. I forget his name, but we all kind of like rock with him. I forget his name. Proctor? No. The white guy. The short white guy. Whoever Ghost's lawyer is on Power in season 1, you know, the short white guy, we all cool with him. He good in our book. That guy, he's playing I guess poker with Shia LaBeouf. And I don't know who the black guy is, but it's them three playing poker. And this part isn't necessarily, this ain't, like, when it comes to, like, the script writing, he gets the guy to make a bet more than he wants to. So the black guy, like, nah, I fold. He's like, dang, bro, why you? He's like, nah, I'm broke. I ain't about to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do that third. So the black guy, he folds. And then the other guy, Shia LaBeouf talks to him, and you know he's like he's supposed to be going on a date with his girlfriend and this and third. And so Shia LaBeouf baits him into like whatchamacallit, and the guy, you know, he ends up betting the extra, you know, $20 or so, and then Shia takes all. But so Shia LaBeouf takes all the money. I don't know how to play poker, but the one guy had the 2 kings, and the other guy, and then Shia LaBeouf comes up with cut the aces. So he grabs all the money, but he works as like some copy cabana. So it's like like Staples has Staples. It's like an Office Depot home. No, like it's like an Office Depot or Staples type of store. He works at Copy Cabana. Or what's another store that he make copies at? Like, not UPS, FedEx. UPS, FedEx. He works at some top Copy Cabana. That's what he works at, Copy Cabana. Like they get, and so then I'm not sure where this is actually based at or shot at, because then he's on the train, but it didn't give New York vibes. Train. He's on a train. He's making eye contact with his girl. And then when she goes to get off, she walks past him, and he was like, did you drop this? He drew a picture of her. And he's like, you know, that's not hard to do on a train or whatever. But she grabs it and like walks off the train. So apparently he can draw, and, you know, but he drew a picture of this girl on the train. And so that was the thing. After that, he goes to like, I guess, get into his apartment or like a duplex or whatever. It's one of them things where the person like lives in the thing too, and like is like renting. He has I guess like an apartment that's like rented out. I don't know if it's like a duplex. I don't know I don't know. I don't know. I'm still at this big age. I don't know what a duplex is, bro. Like I don't know what that shit a duplex is, bro. But he walks in. He goes upstairs. He gets in, and I guess he's trying to like sneak in, like without causing too much noise. He's trying to get in there, and the lady, this old white lady opens the door. Hey, so then he's like, oh yeah, you know, I was looking for you in this and the third. You know, I got you some rent money. I got you a little bit, not everything, not the whole thing. You want part of it, you want a piece of it. So, he give her some of the money, cause he had actually stopped by there was just a couple of things. He had stopped by the ATM, he tried to pull out 100, it said insufficient funds. And that whole little Big Brother thing, when I was on the train, that Big Brother thing happened. Like the TV was like, Big Brother, and they're always watching this out there. So he says that whole thing happened. But then he went, her name is like, her name, the lady who owns like the building, her name was like Wakaba, it's something. It starts with a W and it ends with a ski. Wakabakowski. Wachowski. That's Monsters, Inc. Wachowski. I'm gonna call her Wachowski for now because I don't know how to say her name. But he was like, she was like, well, is that your woman? Tell your woman to give you this money, some rent money. He was like, I don't got eyes for you. This ain't there, whatever. He tries to whatchamacallit, but he gets a call. Mind you, he gives the lady part of the rent money. And the lady was like, well, who that? Is that a woman? Tell her to give you part of rent money, this ain't there. But she not like mean, but she's just sitting there talking to him, whatever. Cause sometimes like them people who own the whatchamacallit, they got different ways of like, the dynamics between somebody being late on rent and stuff like that. So there's that. After that, I'm at the 10-minute mark. So basically it was that, and then after that, he gets the call and he steps off and he's like, hey mom. And that's why I stopped it. So don't know what is the connection between, like, apparently, like, Shia LaBeouf, I think he's like on the cover, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the beginning, that military part with the whole taking out the one guy, I don't know what that has to do with Shia LaBeouf. The other thing was the fact that this movie, like, from the conversations that, like, that I was looking at certain conversations and people were sitting there talking, so I was like, okay, based off what they're saying, this and that, third, it was supposed to be something about as far as technology and things like that. Uh, so it doesn't seem like futuristic like iRobot, but I still gotta watch the movie. So